I am a man. No.
Follow my lead.
And a 1, and a 2,
In
and
the
a
key.
3.
You
Are
just
we
sing into
rolling?
that can and they give you $10.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Mike.
What's up? It's Pete.
And we're here bringing you our Logs and Ops presentation.
From the comfort of your own home.
So that way, instead of falling asleep in front of us, you're just doing it at home now.
Thanks for listening. Have some fun.
Probably cut out that part.
Hey everybody, thanks for going online for our Logs and Ops e-learning. This is a step we're taking to make it more convenient for everyone. We hope it works for you. Be sure to print out the results of your quiz and submit that via a work report. Just clip it to the work report as we've done in the past with different passports and things, and make sure that you get paid for the 45 minutes to 1 hour that it should take. Please take an hour of pay. Way better than sitting around after skiing, falling asleep in the treehouse for 2 hours. So good luck on it. Hope you enjoy it.
All right, lead pros. So Tanya, what can you tell me? What is a lead pro?
So a lead pro is basically, it's a pro that works within the 7 to 17 division, right? A pro in good standing is a major qualifier. These are people that we look to support us in our role as managers. They're also people that we look to support our pros, whether that be with pro card help, whether that be with the academy website, whether that be with identifying training. That word support comes up over and over again. Our lead pros are there to really help move our operation forward, develop the culture within the kids division.
Right. All right, certification currency. So every year I got to take a picture of my PSA membership card, send it off to Marge. Why do we verify current certification?
Good question. Well, in any job, nurses, doctors, teachers, any job where you are certified by an accredited organization, you are required to provide your employer with proof of that certification. So we're trying to adhere to those standards. We're asking our pros to provide us with copies of their PSIA, Aussie, or whatever organization they're certified by, copies of those membership cards, by their first day of work or training, and those are sent to Marge Holbrook.
Gotcha. All right, first day of work or training, because training is work. Okay, so if I forget to do it or not able to take a picture off my phone or a screenshot or whatever, what happens?
Good question. If for whatever reason that currency isn't provided to us by the first day of work or training, then the pay rate of that pro is dropped by a stage.
Okay, so I should probably do it, right?
You should probably do it, and yeah, probably sooner rather than later.
Okay, so do it. Just do it.
This season, all private lessons are going to meet at a combined meeting area on the Base Village Plaza.
Right out in front of Four Mountain Kids. We'll have a kiosk out there and would like to have all pros available at 8:45, ready to go.
There's a lot of new staff around this year. Kids Cave, tickets, guest services, a lot of new hires. Many departments have had to reach out and hire new people. To integrate ourselves with all the new folks, please be sure to have a name tag with your name on it. Nicknames are fun, but it can make it confusing. Let's start the season as part of your uniform is wearing a name tag. And as we expand our relationships with all these other departments and with our own co-workers, let's put on the friendliest attitude we can, be truly welcoming, help them feel as though they are part of our family. Let's talk about the Kids Cave once again. It is the communication hub for all of the ski and snowboard schools. We've got pros up at different locker rooms and at different mountains that think it is just kids. Certainly they handle all the communication for our precious children guests. However, it is also the communication hub for adults and private lessons. It's located in the treehouse. We use it in our branch of the schools for sick, tired, or upset kids, parents that want to do an early pickup. If you do drop off a child at the Kids Cave, be sure to sign them in, your name, legibly, your phone number, and then take a short run on either the Skittles or only to Midway on the Village Express. You can call in or you can stop in. Kids Cave staff would prefer a quick call because many times when a kid's been in the cave for a little bit, they're ready to go very quickly, even though they said they were tired, sick, hungry. Many times they just don't feel like skiing anymore. Then they realize the alternative is not as good as getting back out on the hill. If you don't know how to do the sign-in system, please check with personnel at the cave. They'll walk you through it. And be very sure not to use the cave as just a dumping ground for disciplinary issues. Try to convince a child that seems reluctant to ski or snowboard to get back out there anyway. Do that yourself. That's what we're for. We're good at talking to folks, convince them that skiing is fun. Cold kids need to be taken care of outside the cave. If they're really freezing, you can bring them in, but do check in quickly once they've warmed up. Any disciplinary issues that you may have with children, and they do act up occasionally, try to involve a coordinator with that. You can ask Mike, Kevin, Pete, any coordinator really, John's very good at it, John Knieper, to help you out if there's a disciplinary issue happening within the group. We'll help you try to resolve it. If you are sick and you need to communicate that to someone, please do not call or email coordinators. It could be a day off. We might be leading a clinic or training group, may not be able to check our email or company phones. Use the Kids Cave to communicate any sort of changes in your schedule morning of. That way the information will get to the coordinator that is on duty that day in a timely manner. While we're talking about the Kids Cave, you need to have this number in your phone, as most everybody now is carrying a personal phone on them at all times. The number to reach the cave from your phone is 970-923-0524. If you're near a company phone, restaurants, the on-mountain phones, don't trust or depend on them because many of them are no longer functional as all of us are carrying our own phones. If you are at a company phone and you want to get an extension for the Kids Cave, it is 4356. Another very, very important number you want to carry with you at all times is the dispatch number for the Snowmass Patrol. The number is 970-923-0530. They do have an extension, which is 4201. Again, do carry the Snowmass Patrol number with you at all times, as in the case of an incident, that is the first number you will call. Let's talk about our groundbreaking, not head-breaking helmet policy. We set a standard for the industry that every guest in a lesson that is 17 years old and under needs to be wearing a helmet. Also, every pro that is working, training, clinics, anytime you're clicked into your gear, skis or snowboard, you must be in a helmet and wearing your uniform. If you do need a new helmet, and the life expectancy from the manufacturers for most helmets is about 3 years, you can pick up a helmet voucher from a coordinator. If you're working out of the Treehouse locker room, check in with Sue Way. She carries this helmet vouchers with her. That entitles you to a deeply discounted or even a free helmet through our friends at Four Mountain Sports. Let's make sure that all of our guests that are 17 years old and under have what they need to participate in a lesson each day. They need to have the lift ticket or lift media or an Aspen card. The lesson ticket or lift ticket could be loaded onto the Aspen card. All guests in that age range from 17 under need to be wearing a helmet in a lesson. All pros, again, need to be wearing a helmet. We also need to have a completed waiver form, as we've had for the past who knows how many years. The 2-part large form that the parent can fill out, parent or guardian can fill out at the meeting area. Guests can also have pre-registered their child. That would be indicated by a card, same size as our lift media cards, and that's going to give permissions to go on field trips, to ski home on their own, and contact numbers for the parents. Please be sure that if the child has that card in their pocket, it has that information. If they do not have that information on the card in their pocket, then we need to gently ask the guardian or parent to fill out the 2-part waiver form that we're all familiar with. I wish we could see you all in person to ask the group, what time do children's 7 through 17 lessons meet? Well, the official time, as it is listed in the brochures, is 9:15. Lessons meet at 9:15. We ask pros to be on their station if you have been assigned a specific location at 9:10, no later. If you're there earlier, of course, that just helps us out. All pros need to be on the plaza, ready to rock and roll at 9:15. Lessons will continue to meet at the Base Village Plaza. For 7 to 9-year-olds, 10 to 12s are going to be up on snow, as will teenagers. Lessons leave the meeting areas promptly at 9:30. To ask our guests to spend more than 15 minutes standing around waiting for a lesson to get organized and go is just not good guest service. So we'll send you promptly at 9:30. Before you leave, be sure that the coordinator for your meeting area knows where you're having lunch. You're going to need to roster the class, and be sure to fill out the 2-part class list and leave it on a clipboard on the meeting area signs. We ask that everyone fill out a class list and turn in the yellow or carbon copy in the morning. If you carry the carbon with you during the day, it gets crumpled up and becomes illegible when you turn it in at the end of the day. So turn in the yellow in the morning, carry the white with you to make any adjustment to your class list, then turn in the white piece at the end of the day. Let's review what the coordinators need to know and the radio check-in person that's going to be at the Midway check-in and up at Elk Camp. Please, I know it's repetitive, but please let the coordinators and the check-in person know what age group you have, what level you have, how many children are in your group, and where you're going to have lunch. Any changes, please communicate that through the Kids Cave. Please try to stick to the plans you made in the morning, but if you do need to make a change, the Kids Cave is again your resource for changes. The eternal question is, what time do children's lessons end? If you read the brochure, it's 3:15. However, if every group comes back exactly at 3:15, it gets a little too congested in the meeting areas. So let's try to get the 7 to 9-year-olds back between 3 o'clock and 3:05. 10 to 12s should come back between 3:05 and 3:10. Teenagers back at 3:15. Now, if you have a child that needs to ski home or has permission to ski home on their own, they still need to come to the ski meeting area because there could be a family plan that's changed. Come back to the meeting area, make sure that that child knows exactly where they're headed and how to get there. Check for room keys, notes, parents' phone numbers. Any questions you may have on a child that needs to ski home or wants to ski home, do check the permission card or waiver that they have in their pocket, and do get good guest service to help that child call their parents if there's any questions. One of the more challenging arts that all pros need to get very good at, and it just takes practice, is doing the splits, verbal splits to be exact, in the meeting area. One of the things we need to get better at is not allowing a student that is unable to ski the terrain at the Midway station down to get up to Midway. Seems obvious, but every year we get quite a few kids up there, and Patrol has asked us to eliminate, not reduce, but eliminate courtesy rides from Midway because a child gets there without having been asked if they can turn and stop on green terrain. So it's an accident sometimes. The kid might have been able to do it before, but not anymore. So the first thing we want to do as parents and children approach the meeting area is greet them, say hello. Don't start the interrogation until you've made some small talk. But then find out how long it's been since the child has skied, what level they were skiing when they skied, if they'd been here before, if they're returning from the previous day. Those sort of questions can give us a really good idea on where to place the child that morning. Communicating with the children as to what terrain they've skied in the past, what speed they enjoy skiing, and how they turn, how they stop. Really focusing on skills is going to help with the verbal split. Communicating with the other pros, the pros above and below you, even a couple levels, is going to make your day a lot easier if you need to move a child And we ask that you try to move kids up. Everyone loves being promoted. No one likes being demoted. Occasionally a child may ask to do so. They'll be getting tired. They'd like to take it easy. They've got a friend in a different group. We try to accommodate all of these needs. If there's a complication that occurs when you're trying to place a child in a class, that's a coordinator's job to help you. Oftentimes we get younger children that want to ski with older children, cousins, friends that want to stay together, differing abilities. Keep in mind that we always go to the lowest common denominator or lowest level. We cannot have a kid over their head skiing with larger children or traveling faster on steeper terrain. We think of safety first. Use the radio check-in person at the top of the Elk Camp gondola or at midway at the Village Express. Keep in mind, please, that levels 1 through 3 go to Elk Camp Meadows. Levels 4 through 6 are going to go up to Midway at the Village Express. Make sure your kids all know to get off at Midway. Levels 7 and up go to the top of Village Express and ski down to the check-in person that's going to be at the top of Hal's Hollow. Please do the best you can to be aware of our different levels. We've got levels information online on the training website and posted on bulletin boards. Please be very careful not to use the levels as a promotion gift. If the skills aren't there, you're doing yourself a disservice and actually the guest a disservice if they go to another area and say, well, when I was at Snowmass, I was a level 9, and they put them into a level 9 group and the child's not at that level. We all know that human beings, and particularly children, are visual learners. The best way to get your group to improve is to do accurate demonstrations for the skills that you are trying to help them learn and use the terrain that will enhance those skills. Accurate demonstrations are what will help you build business. People from the chair, people on the side of the hill are watching us constantly, not just the people in your group. Ski as best you can at every different level. Class lists and rostering are really important pieces of our puzzle each day. Security being the most important part that the guests are concerned about. Guests want to know where their children are at all times. If you've rostered correctly and used the roster gates, we can then, from the kids' cave, give the parents a pretty good idea of what's going on, where you might be. Therefore, we need an accurate roster from the class list to back up the electronic rostering that's going on as we get closer to paperless. It's not happening this year, so please legibly fill out your class lists as we mentioned earlier, turning in the yellow copy in the morning, white copy in the afternoon, and please make any adjustments that happen to that class list at lunchtime. As we are trying always to be an environmentally concerned, sustainable, green company, we are continuing to work to eliminate paper in our documentation, ticketing processes as much as we can. We are definitely paperless for private lessons and for group lessons. There's going to be a ticket, it's just loaded on the media or the Aspen card. As we talk about sustainability, we need to keep in mind that we are a for-profit business. Therefore, rostering all lessons, groups and privates, is critical. Checking in to be sure that your private lessons have been paid for accurately and the right person is part of the private lesson payroll assistance job. Those people are going to be in the locker room helping us out. Let's help them out by rostering every lesson every day. Bookending is just what it's called. The pro needs to wave their pass media through the gate. The guests then pass through the gate, rostering each one. Please take your time and make sure that they don't double up. Make sure that the turnstile has re-registered itself before the next guest goes through.